everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve Omi update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Also Patreon and become a member. Link down below as well. Also ratex.dth domain name. So we have a couple things to go over. We'll start with Omi. Omi not doing too terrible on the day, against itself. It was up about 1.3%, up to 0.0075. However, it's almost fallen out of that top 200. It is number 196 on CoinGecko. So even though it was up, the rest of the market was up even more. There's a couple of things going on in the market. One thing I did want to take a look at was the Daily Hodl had gone unreported that says Bitcoin price will shatter $10 million per Bitcoin, says hedge fund manager Jesse Myers. And it goes about on the timeline and is just saying that it would do that by the end of the decade. Be advised, that's a $200 trillion market cap. I don't care how bad hyperinflation gets. I don't believe that Bitcoin goes to $200 trillion market cap by the end of the decade. Could it be tens of trillions of dollars? Sure. Could be $100 trillion. That's a lot. Comment down below what you think. But again, even if he's 90% wrong and it does what Cathie Wood thinks and it goes to about $1 million per Bitcoin by the end of the decade, which is what I think, that is a $20 trillion market cap. I do think Ethereum passes that at some point. And how much do we go and how much of that trickles down over to altcoins? How much does that trickle down over to Omi? I don't know. You decide. Comment down below. We have a couple things to go over. One thing is that, a sub 100 AntMan Scotland, which there are very few of them. There was only 4 on the market at the time. There's only 3 on the market right now. $150 for the cheapest one. I don't think $150 is worth it. Granted, it's worth whatever someone's willing to pay. Somebody had a Scotland for $64, sub 100. It was number 92. I bought it. Typically, that is above what I'd like to go for sub 100 for a Marvel Mighty. That's a common, but he's worth about, I think, $7 on the floor. So less than 10x of that for sub 100 for something that is very, very popular. I figured I'd take that. So that's what I've been buying. I did not go for today's comic. Today's comic didn't do too bad. It did more than the Peely Fantasy. The Peely Fantasy, granted, it was dropped on a day that you had a major drop. That Tales of Suspense number 39, which did super well as well. That 185. It sold out in a second. But that Peely Fantasy, because it dropped on the same day as that, only made about $34,000 on that day. But today's comic did a bit more than that, made about $40,000. So it's a bit of an improvement. In other news, we did have Veve Photographer saying, join me, as he posts a Darth Vader, as in come join the dark side. And then you have Veve Digital Collectibles, Veve Official, go and respond. May 4th is approaching. So I don't know what they mean if we're going to get another Vader or if we're going to get a Luke or if we're going to get, figure if we have 5 different lightsabers and every person that we have, every person that's good with the Force, such as Darth Vader, such as Obi-Wan, they come with their own lightsaber. We haven't seen one yet where we have, here's Yoda's lightsaber. Let's get a Yoda collectible. Here's the Skywalker lightsaber. Let's get a Luke collectible. Some people want like an Anakin version, kind of like, obviously that young version of Vader. Some people want Rey. Heck, those people. Give me Luke Skywalker. Comment down below who you want. I'd like Ahsoka Tano as well. Ahsoka Tano and Luke, I love those people. This may have changed, but as of yesterday, we did have for the 100th anniversary Platinum Moments, we had 155 Mickey's posters. We had 152 Dumbo posters, 128 Mini posters, and 106 Donald posters. So those are getting scarcer and scarcer. As of yesterday, there were less than 1,300 potions left. So we'll see what that does. Comment down below if you'd rather keep the potion, if you like the poster better. Posters are very, very scarce, so we'll see what happens with that. Mitch Mack had gone yesterday and said, not financial advice, great chatter regarding Veve Web3. Given the history, frustrations are, dare I say, warranted. In my opinion, and with due respect, Web3 goodness should be systematically and methodically leveraged to affect mutual benefits for all Veve parties. Likely a marathon, not a sprint. Most 88% of people said, yep, on the same page as you. 13% of people said, Mitch, you're an idiot, let me educate you. But we have a couple of other polls to do, but just so you know, the most part, most of the community, at least on Twitter, does agree with Mitch in that one. Including the White Whale, white_Veve says, I believe that continuous development and innovation are essential to stay ahead in the rapidly evolving world of blockchain and NFTs. As Veve grows, it's crucial to adapt and embrace new technologies that can enhance user experience, security, and self-custody of digital assets. He continues on by saying, exploring Veve's potential benefits from Web3's decentralization, transparency, and community involvement is valuable, Engaging the community with decentralized governance or MCP-based voting could improve interest alignment and long-term growth. With that, you're kind of basically looking at like a DAO. Oh, hey, if you have a certain amount of MCP points or maybe a certain amount of OMI or whatever, you get, a higher percentage, your vote counts for a little bit more. That really does cater towards the whales, which of course, Mr. White is, but do we do it? I don't know. I'll keep y'all posted. So I'm not 100% who Furu Alerts is. They only have about 3,200 followers over on the Twitter, but they are followed by the whole Mars catalog. That is a big account in the Tesla community. And Furu Alerts says, mathematician running a quant fund, real-time performance updates and stock alerts from your favorite financial gurus. And he had gone on and retweeted me. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I don't know if I'd say I'm a financial guru, but if he's going to give me that title, I will 100% take it. We do have a status update from NFT Pirate. Says, will Veveverse completely reshift collecting strategies? ? For instance, a comic may be cool now, but will it be as cool when people are driving around in fancy cars in the metaverses? For me, I don't know. I mean, I think if you like it now in your showroom, you should like it in the Veveverse. What could be better than sitting under a tree on a sunny day and reading a comic book? Or if it's a rainy day, sitting in a cool fort that you built and reading comic books in the fort. Everything is better, infinitely better when you're doing it inside of a fort. Again, just my opinion. Anyway, Hello K responds, says, doubt it. Can do all this stuff in a more customizable way with Spatial. Someone wrote a script for not just driving, but flying a vehicle too, as Spatial has a pretty robust SDK. Plenty of free and paid assets as well. I don't think token gating assets is innovative, but inhibitory. Dr. Profit slamming the hammer down saying, you probably don't know that Spatial could only handle 1 or 2 Veve collectibles because of the high polygon count. Building in Web3D, which is 20-year-old standard, can only access browser memory. Deploying iterations on Spatial takes 2 days. Expect much better tech from the Veveverse. And I know more than these untrue superficial statements that I responded to. Dr. Profit just saying, hey, I might know a little something just because, I'm a whale and I talk to people. Anyway, that was just a little bit on that, just saying, hey, just because so far the metaverse showroom that we were showed looks like Spatial doesn't mean we are Spatial. It means that Cavernous is going to be absolutely amazing. And again, we've only seen our showroom, which is built on Unity Engine. We have not seen any footage so far of the rest of the Veveverse, some of it, which will have Unreal Engine 5. Or maybe you have, and I'm just an idiot, but so far I have not. We do have a payout update from Veve saying, we are aware that some payouts that were initiated before wire pause services were not processed. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. Unprocessed payouts should have been automatically returned and are working to restore payouts ASAP. We do expect this to happen in the next several weeks and will provide updates as we have them. Thank you for your patience. Hopefully this does happen before the end of Q2. I really would not like to see a whole quarter where we don't have payouts. But again, with that, collectibles might go up a little bit. So, to each their own. So here's an interesting take on what people think on Facebook and how people think on Twitter. Sergio Rodriguez had gone on Facebook and said, is the quality of Tarzan 3D collectible great, good, or poor? Most people had responded good. He did the same thing on Twitter. 14% of people responded great, 28% of people responded good, and almost 60%, there's 59% of people responded poor. Who has more money? Who's more into tech? I mean, it really depends on what platform you ask for. If you ask Discord, if you ask Telegram, you might have a different opinion on that. Comment down below how you feel about Tarzan. But speaking of Tarzan, we might as well go to the Medium article. So Tarzan, being one of the most recognizable characters in pop culture, has been a worldwide phenomenon since its creation, since legendary author Edgar Rice Burroughs. Every generation does have its Tarzan, whatever you want, whether it's the Disney Tarzan, the Brendan Fraser Tarzan, whatever you have. The Tarzan Yell animated statue does come out on April 7th. There's 2,400 editions at 60 editions, so we actually have 2,310 because you have to take away 90. So if you do that 2,310 and you multiply by 60, that'd be $138,000. I'm not 100% sure this is going to sell out. Everyone does love Tarzan. He's amazing. The first public mint for sale will be number 41. I do believe this will sell probably half, which is pretty cool. I suggest we're probably going to sell about $50,000 to $60,000 worth of him. Like I said, I think he's cool. I wish he was a little bit cheaper. Again, you have Hulk, one of the top 10 superheroes in the world, at $50, and in my opinion, Tarzan coming in at $60. I'd just rather get a Hulk. But that's just my opinion. Many people will get him just because Hulk had 4,400 editions-ish. This guy only has 2,310, so he is more scarce than Hulk is, by a lot. In other polls, we do have Brock McBlockchain saying, how I feel about NFTs currently. Leave a comment if you feel like expanding with more context. where NFTs are fun, NFTs are the future, NFTs are dead, and NFTs are boring. 24% said NFTs are fun, 60% said NFTs are the future. I agree with that as well, and they're also fun. 8% said NFTs are dead, and 9% said NFTs are boring. So he retweeted that and said 80% of people who responded are bullish for NFTs. However, only 50% of people gave a crap enough to even answer. I've been working on making fun things using this technology, but every time I come up for air, all I see is people arguing and fighting. How is that fun for the future? Again, I think a lot of people are fighting just because they're bored, just because, oh, my bags are down. People are fighting. Let's, it becomes super tribal. But like I said, at the end of the day, I do believe NFTs in general are the future. And I don't just mean digital collectibles. This is a fun niche that you're going to see a lot of money go into. But again, in the future, you'll have the deed for your cars in NFT, the deed for your house in an NFT. Everything will be an NFT. And you have Kaki Gaijin, aka Aaron, responding, digital collecting solves my problems. I have no space in my room, and there's a chance I lose my job and have to move country to a different country. Can't deal with physical collectibles. It's a no-brainer for me. And when I was in the high-end collectibles business, with a lot of Pokemon cards, yeah, that was most of my clients' main issue. Their partners would all say, hey, you have enough collectibles? No more. You have enough product. We have no more room for it in that room that you designated for that. And what do they have to do? They'd have to sell some of their collection to grow their collection. Either that or their house would just fill up with stuff. Digital collectibles, just 100%. Again, I have over 900 collectibles and comics, and guess what? They don't take up any space. Beautiful. Heckin' beautiful. Speaking of comics, the birth of Billy and Tommy, aka Wiccan and Speed, which is Scarlet Witch's and Vision's kids that she wills into existence, that does come out over on... Oh god, it doesn't say. Oh, it does say, I'm sorry. On Thursday, April 6th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it does have some really cool exclusive artwork, such as the rare and ultra rare. I think the people I feel like are sleeping on the rare and ultra rare artworks for all of these. They are exclusive artwork that is exclusive to Veve. How many times can I say exclusive in 1 minute? And also, not only that, but it's only 5,000 mints. So these are a little bit cheaper than the last comic we had. It's $7 instead of $10, only 5,000 mints. So again, this will be about $30,000 a day for Veve. As they sell out, but with 125 secret rare, that's super, super scarce. But speaking of secret rares and people buying things, we have Tropical saying adding grails to the secret rare collection. And she had purchased a Tales of Suspense secret rare number 7,771. And that was, she didn't exactly say how much she paid for it, but the floor now is $920. And so you paid over $900 for that. What does Veve get if they go and every time one of those sells? Well, Veve gets another $20-something for their 2.5% fee. Marvel gets that 6%, so they get about $55 for that. And again, when you just make money while you're sleeping, you don't have to do a drop, you don't have to do whatever. As people buy and sell the first drop over and over and over again, and you're continuously getting that percent, it's no wonder that Marvel and Disney have such a great relationship with Veve. Speaking of comics, remember the Uncanny XMen number 64, which I think has been... I was rewatching Stranger Things recently. It was either X-Men 34 or 64 that they were talking about. But anyway, be advised, this is the scarcest comic that we have on the app. In the last 7 days, only 10 more were redeemed. So we have a total of 203 Uncanny X-Men number 64. I don't think any of these has sold on the market for less than $500. These are super scarce. They do have until June 16th to redeem those codes that were given out. I don't think we get more than 350. Maybe we get, I would say maybe even 300. Just because again, if we've had 10 in the last 7 days, this is not a good, this is not, or it's good for us because it's super scarce, but there's not a good chance of it getting up to 400 comics. It would have to double in the next couple months, which I just don't believe it does. Chris Coffey goes and posts something really funny saying, Instagram supported NFTs just long enough to gather your wallet information, attach it to your identity, and exploit your data. And then one Supergirl.e says, Instagram not gonna make it. I love those two so much. They're really, 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 really dope. So we have Cavell Anderson going say, I'm curious, and he's tagging David Yu. Is the importance of the OMI token still so important the app couldn't function without it, or has the use changed? Is that still the plan, or has the plans changed? Also, is a Ready Player One goal still the objective for the Veve metaverse, or has the plans changed? How many times can you say, has the plans changed in 1 minute? So we had Austin Skyrim said, did you not see the AMA? And Cavell said no. So me and Dr. Stuff answered. I had answered saying, the last community update they mentioned that OMI to NFT was a Q2 priority. So even if we don't get it in Q2, we will get it in Q3. They'll be working on it in Q2. We'll get it in Q3. Omi being used on the app finally is very, very bullish. Dr. Stuff had said the app has technically always been able to function without the token. They implemented a burn mechanism for the reserve wallet with the intention of buying tokens for circulating supply to cause deflation of Omi. They then pivoted to the OUP burn mechanisms to prevent potential label of a security. And as we get Omi to NFT, as we get all of these things, we will be burning from the circulating supply. So again, if you missed mine or Dr. Stuff's or anyone's responses on there, I think there's a couple of good ones. Anywho, moving on. Sergio Collects over on Twitter says, does Veve need interoperability to succeed? And I'm going to have to go against the community here. The community, 72% of them had said, yes, they do need interoperability to succeed. But again, this is only on Twitter. I, of course, had voted no with the other 28% of people. And why? I mean, they're already successful. They're already a multi-billion-dollar company. They already gross over $1 million a week in the bear market. And again, that's not including the 400+ million gems that have sold since its inception. This is crazy. This is silly. They're already successful. Would we love to see interoperability? Of course is a horse. Will we get some eventually? Yes, absolutely. Depending on the licensors and whatever. I mean, it's already there. A lot of people want to say like, oh, they're not real NFTs. I mean, on the blockchain, they're on there via Immutable X. Does not lie. Anyway, that's it for me. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I love you guys. Goodbye. Meow, 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 meow.